welcome back to the Panic Kitchen, everyone. One of these days, I'm gonna do this little slide-in thing and I'm just gonna go sailing right into my pantry. It's gonna happen. But thank you guys for coming back for another video. And today we have a very special Panic Kitchen because Mrs. Horse recently got a very cool cookbook. Ronald Dahl's Revolting Recipes. So how perfect is this book for us, right guys? Here in the Panic Kitchen. You guys know that I pretty much just use this as an excuse to kind of do a mini vlog. I'm all over the place here, but we have fun and we obliterate food. So this is gonna be the first time we are making something out of a cookbook, but when I saw this, I was like, this is just too perfect. Ronald Dahl was huge in my childhood. Obviously, you have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James and the Giant Peach, and for today's recipe, we're going to be doing one inspired by The Witches. Yes, loved this book. This is actually Mrs. Horse's copy. It is very well loved, as you can see, but I love The Witches. It is a classic, just, you know, kind of sort of disturbing in a lot of ways, especially if you've seen that movie. I'm pretty sure that was a little weird. But today's recipe is green pea soup. And I love the illustrations in Revolting Recipes. I thought that was amazing. So I did flip through here. There's some of these that I can make edible for myself. You guys know if you've tuned into previous episodes, I don't eat meat, eggs, cheese, milk, any of that. And obviously, you know, I can always make substitutions. There are no rules here. It's much like the panic room in my kitchen. There's not a whole lot of rules. Just don't kill yourself. So for the green pea soup, I really felt like I could make some substitutions here and not completely murder the outcome, what we're supposed to have here. And I like green pea soup. So for this recipe, we need butter, which I'm using Smart Balance. It doesn't have any dairy in it. Scallions, which I'm just using onion, because I don't have any scallions. A small potato, which I'm using a large potato because I didn't really have any potatoes that I would classify as small, but hey, everybody likes potato. Garlic, which I am also using this. I'm not a big fan of like convenience foods, except when it comes to garlic. I hate chopping garlic. I hate smashing garlic. This is worth every penny. I think this is from, yeah, this is from Sam's Club. It is worth everything. I don't mind. It's like $3. It's not expensive and you don't have to screw around with garlic. So garlic, peas, frozen peas, chicken stock, which we are just gonna be using water, and salt and pepper. So I figure I'll just probably like oomph the spices a little bit to try and take into account the fact we're using water and not stock. So I also thought, because I recently had a birthday a number of months ago, I guess that wouldn't be recently, then would it? Whatever. And I got this little gem, which is Tales of the Unexpected, which is a collection of short stories by Ronald Dahl. And I have read through it, and I loved it. Thought it was amazing. So I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about this. Obviously, I'm not gonna go into a whole lot of detail, but maybe, you know, just pick out a couple stories here and there, kind of give you guys my thoughts on them as we go through this recipe. So let's get started. All right, so the first step is to melt the butter in a large saucepan, add the potato, garlic, and scallions, which I have already diced the potato and onion, and I don't have to for the garlic for reasons I've already talked about. Oh guys, you guys wanna see like my favorite saucepan? It's this one. Yeah, it has a handle over here. I love this thing. It's probably not a saucepan, don't murder me in the comments, but I love this thing. It's real deep, so you can put a lot of shit in it, and then it has a handle. Yeah, I love it. Guys, if this is your first ever Panic Kitchen video and you wonder about any sounds you hear in the background, clicking of nails, shaking of fur, possibly the drowning of a small child, that is just my Great Dane getting up. His chair is right over there and his water bowl is right over here. So sometimes during the course of me making these videos, he gets up and goes to his water bowl and it sounds like a small child is drowning. So don't be alarmed. It's just a Great Dane. Subtlety is not one of their strong suits. All right guys, so while we wait, because the onions, the potatoes, oh my goodness. There we go. I didn't put the lid on properly. So the onions, the potatoes, and the garlic have to simmer for 10 minutes. So I felt that would be the perfect time to go through our little book here. All right, guys, so I felt we could start with a tale called Parson's Pleasure. And I liked this tale. I don't know what it was about it. But you guys got to remember, this book is called Tales of the Unexpected. So there were a lot of twists and turns here, which I love. I love. I'm reminded of what Emily Terry says, liking a good dark and twisty read. This one was twisty. That's for damn sure. So Parson's Pleasure, it was really about a guy kind of getting his comeuppance because you have this dude that is going around and he's essentially swindling a bunch of these country folk out of this really nice furniture, and that's how he like buys it from them and then turns around and sells it for profit. Well, he comes upon this commode and antics ensue, and he just, the way he gets his comeuppance is very tongue-in-cheek, and I just thought it was really funny. So Parson's Pleasure. All right, guys, so the next story I wanted to talk about, The Way Up to Heaven. All right, a little bit about me. Okay, so you guys know, if you've been around here any length of time, that I'm super type A. And part of that includes, like, I cannot stand making people wait. To the degree that if I have to be at a place at a certain time, like an appointment or whatever, if I don't arrive 10 or 15 minutes early, in my head, I'm late. Comment down below, how many of you are like that? Now, fun fact about my household, the people I live with are not like that. So you can imagine, you know, it's not exactly like arguing or strife, it's just a different way to approach things, like when to leave. And so this story kind of resonated with me because the main woman character is like me. You know, she has this neurosis, like to the nth degree. And the husband likes to mess with her. Well, just so I don't give you guys any spoilers, he does it one too many times. And I loved the ending. It was just classic Dahl. I loved it. And it really harkened back to, you know, like me and my family wanting to leave. And I'm like, maybe I should make some other people in my house read this. All right, guys, let's check because we're starting to smell some onions and stuff. It's actually smelling quite good. Let's stir this. So, fun little note about my childhood. Once upon a time, I was walking into someplace. I want to say it was like a Kroger or something with my mom. And we were talking about how good this like food truck or something smelled. And my mom made the comment of, there's something about like peppers and onions being fried together that it's like it just entices people to want to eat. Is that not true? Is that not like one of the best cooking smells ever, is like frying onions and peppers together? I know there's no peppers in this, and that probably didn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, but it reminded me of that. Anyway, let's see, step number 2, because our potatoes and stuff are done. Add the peas, stock, a pinch of salt and pepper, bring to a boil, and simmer for 15 minutes. Okay, well, let's do that. Alright guys, so while our soup is cooking, because it does have to come to a boil and then simmer for 15 minutes according to the directions, I thought we could talk about The Landlady. Now this story, it harkens back to a premise that I absolutely love. I love, like, I don't know, that underhanded, you don't find out until the end kind of story. I hope that makes sense. So with this one, it is about this boy guy who is going, I think it's to London, I'm pretty sure he was going to London, to like find a job, and he comes on this bed and breakfast and this little lady runs it, and it talks about how like he, you know, sees a dash hound and I want to say like a bird in there, and he starts talking to her, and you know, it's just this like fluffy kind of conversation, except when he looks into the guest book, he thinks he recognizes the names, and oh, I love it. And then the end, like, okay, I feel like if you have read any type of horror, you're gonna know where this is going already. But let's just say she serves him some tea that kind of sort of tastes like bitter almond. Yeah, so The Landlady, I loved it. All right guys, so I think the last one that I'm gonna talk about is called Royal Jelly. And this is for all my like creature body horror type people. Now, this is obviously not, I guess, what you would call body horror, but for those of you who like things like The Fly and stuff like that, I really think you're gonna like this one. It's called Royal Jelly. And I want to say this is actually one of the shorter ones, but it's about this girl who won't eat. And her dad finds something that she can eat. And at the end, you find out why this works so well for her. Yeah, it's very, very reminiscent of The Fly to me in some ways. If you like that kind of thing, you're really gonna like royal jelly, especially if you have an affinity for our little honey making insects. Okay guys, so I thought, because I've mentioned this in the past, I want to say it was on a tag, about writing in books. And this book is used, it's very beat up. I don't know if you guys can see just how kind of crappy the cover is. I don't know. I don't mind that because, I don't know, part of me says like the story itself hasn't changed, you know, as long as the book is readable, I don't really mind it so much. I kind of like the idea of a book having many eyes that have been on it and many hands that have flipped through it. So obviously this was owned by a child, but I have to say, just based on what I've seen, it has to be a child, or at least it was a child, that is at least now somewhat close to my age, and I'll tell you why. And you guys tell me if you think I'm insane. But look, it's cursive, and I don't think they teach that anymore. But it also has LOL. So it can't be that old. It can't be that old. It has to be in the time of like text speech, I guess. But the one thing that I really liked about this is, you guys see that right here? Yeah? It says, "Help, I'm trapped in this book." I love it. I love it. A morbid little kid. But yeah, I thought this was awesome. And you know, when I saw the cursive, I was like, because I was taught cursive in school and I remember LOL. I just wonder how old the owner of this book is now. And obviously, we also have the entirety of the cursive alphabet wrote in here. So, you know, comment down below, were you taught cursive in school? Are you that old like me? And there was another thing here. I wanted to see if you guys, I've never done this in a book. I wouldn't do this in a book, but let's see. It's gonna be a little awkward to show you, but I think we can do it. So it's down here in the corner here, but watch. You see the little face right there, and you see how they did one of those like flip book things where her hair grows? I like that. I remember doing that in like notebooks and shit. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of neat because I think I had just mentioned something about writing in books. And I mean, I don't mind that kind of thing. You know, the book is still, you know, very much readable. So I just thought you guys might be interested in that. And also something else I wanted to do, because we still have a little bit more. The last step is just to puree this shit. So we don't have a whole lot left to do once it finishes cooking. But I thought if you guys were curious about some of the other books that were represented in this recipe book, and let's see, there's a ton from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, obviously. Stuff like Willy Wonka's Nutty Crunch Surprise. Oh, and also, in case you guys were wondering, because of course, the one recipe that came to my mind, yeah, that's an interesting thing. Comment down below. When you saw that I was doing a Ronald Dahl book, what recipes came to your mind first? Okay, because for me, it was kind of twofold. The first thing I thought of was lickable wallpaper from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But the second thing I thought of was Bruce Bogtrotter's chocolate cake, that like iconic scene from Matilda. But they have a ton of stuff in here. They even have peach juice from James and the Giant Peach, which is quite possibly my favorite Dahl. I don't know, that's hard. I love James and the Giant Peach though. They also have Stink Bugs eggs, which, you know, I don't do eggs, but I thought those were really kind of neat looking. Crisp wasp stings on pieces of buttered toast. Yeah, this one has a lot of coconut in it, and I'm not a shredded coconut fan. Oh, and there's one in here that is completely harkening back to Pax's Library of Horrors, because it is just the weirdest shit. Hang on, let's find lickable wallpaper. Here we go. Okay, lickable wallpaper. Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. It has gelatin in it, and it seemed kind of really hard to mix, and you know, you have to like time it. When you make candy, it's so like time sensitive. I didn't want to do that on camera. Now, I will say that Hot Frogs was a contender, and that's from James and the Giant Peach, because this one has like biscuit dough, Granny Smith apples, and raisins soaked in orange juice. That sounded like it could be good. But I kind of really wanted to do like a non-sweet food, because we have done so many sweet things in Pax's kitchen. Let's see, what's another good one? Oh yes, we have bird pie from The Twits, which I don't think I've ever read, But look at this. Let's see. It uses colored pipe cleaners. Okay, look at this. It's like bird eggs sticking out of a pie. Yeah, I kind of want to read that now from the Twits. Comment down below. Has anybody ever heard of the Twits? Because I have not. Okay, here's the one that I was like, oh my gosh, this is something straight out of Pax's Little Library of Horrors. This is from Rhyme Stew, which I feel like I have read. I'm pretty sure that was a poem that he did, but it's been too long. This is Hansel and Gretel's spare ribs, right? It's just spare ribs, but like they almost got eaten in Hansel and Gretel, and you're essentially making children's ribs. Is that not kind of messed up? I kind of thought it was messed up. Oh, and yeah, look at this. Look at that. Hey kids, come on, let's do some cooking. And another one that I thought was really cool, and I think this would be really cute to make with kids. This is from the BFG, and it's Frobscottle. Yeah, and this one is pretty simple. Let's see, it's kiwi, limes, raspberry drinking yogurt, lemonade, and cream soda, which I thought that would be pretty easy. I'm not big on raspberry or yogurt, but I feel like that could be pretty easy to make, and it might be good, you know, at least for like maybe little kids. Let's see, let's do one more. Let's do hot ice cream for cold days, and this is from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And it kind of just looks like a meringue, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, vanilla ice cream, ginger in syrup, stem ginger in syrup. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming just regular ginger, which I love ginger. Spice cake, peach slices. This seems like a very fall type recipe. I bet you that would be really good. Okay guys, so I think our stuff is about finished and all we have left to do is blend. So let's do it. Okay guys, it's real thin. I don't know why. Maybe I used the right amount of peas. It's real thin though. I don't know. We're gonna do a taste test. But before we do, I have to show you guys, I have the best, absolute best ladle of all time. Look at it. It's a dinosaur and it's green. Is that not the funniest thing ever? Yeah, so let's get some pea soup. All right, we're just gonna leave that there. If you guys can see, he's just gonna hang out. And now I need to get a spoon. It's not real pretty. Which, I mean, I guess it's supposed to be the witches, so, I mean, I don't know why I expected it to be pretty. I don't know, I kind of left it a little chunky because I don't like smooth stuff. It's a texture issue with me. Like, I don't like pudding or anything like that. Let's do it. It's probably gonna burn me. I need salt. It's probably because I use water, honestly. It's probably gonna be a lot better with stock. I just don't have any stock, and I'm not gonna use chicken stock unless I'm not gonna eat it. Yeah, I think I'll doctor that up with some salt and pepper, and it'll be fine. Maybe with like a nice crusty bread to dip. I don't know. Guys, you know, I am not a chef. We literally talk about books and obliterate food in the Panic Kitchen. So Gordon Ramsay would shit a brick. Anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out as we made a recipe from Ronald Dahl's Revolting Recipes. This in particular was from The Witches. So comment down below, let me know, did you guys like this? You know, I would love to do more. Maybe, you know, there's a lot more of these stories out of the Tales of the Unexpected that I did not talk about. If you guys like this, let me know down below. I'd be happy to do another recipe, talk about more stories. I might do it anyway, who the hell knows. But guys, like and subscribe if you like this. It really helps me out. And until next time, bye for now.